Hello, citizens. This is Jim with JP Reacts. We come to see a former candidate help you think like a politician so you can figure out what politicians mean by what they say and they don't say. Today, we're going to be talking about Governor Cuomo again. He's gotten himself into some hot water. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned after this. Okay, so we're going to talk about some allegations made against Governor Cuomo from New York about sexual harassment from a candidate for, it looks like, state representative in New York, Lindsey Boland. It was his former staffer in Albany. And basically, she has some allegations of sexual harassment. So we'll read through we'll check through her piece on Medium, which I'll link to below. But if you're liking what I'm doing, please like and subscribe, and we'll jump right into it after. Let's jump right into it right now. Okay, so this is coming from the piece in Medium from Lindsey Boland, her allegations and whatnot. So we'll basically start. We won't read through everything, but it basically starts out. I highlighted some parts I want to talk about. It starts out basically saying, "Let's play strip poker." That was the governor's comment to Lindsey Boland. She was obviously shocked by that, but that was basically how the piece starts. I wanted to go through this part here, where she writes, "Governor Andrew Cuomo has created a culture within his administration where sexual harassment and bullying is so pervasive that it is not only condoned but expected. His inappropriate behavior towards women was an affirmation that he liked you, that you must be doing something right. He used intimidation to silence his critics, and if you dared speak up, you would face consequences." So basically, this allegation is the prime allegation of sexual harassment in the workplace. It's never right, but basically, what she's saying is, if she didn't play along, if she didn't accede to his advances, she would face consequences, losing her job or lose projects, any of that stuff, which is classic sexual harassment. So let's continue reading this article. Obviously, I'm not going to read the whole thing. But the way this all came about was she had released some tweets, which you can find on her Twitter, about this and how it just kind of spilled out. She said after he was being talked about for Attorney General. So she basically says, in a few tweets, I told the world what a few close friends, family members, and my therapist had known for years. Andrew Cuomo abused his power as governor to sexually harass me, just as he had done with so many other women. So again, he's using the reason sexual harassment is so bad is not just that you shouldn't make sexual advances against people that don't want them. It's that it's usually people in power. So in this case, a governor using it against other people, women, or in this case, a woman, and probably other women in his area. So it sounds like it was very classic. When you think about sexual harassment, it sounds like Governor Cuomo definitely was doing the what you think about as, hey, this is classic sexual harassment. So let's kind of look through here and see where else we got going on. So the next part of this I wanted to highlight was, I expect Governor and his top aides will attempt to further disparage me, just like they've done with Assembly Member Kim. They'd lose their jobs if they didn't protect him. This is how his administration works. I know because I was part of it. Basically, what she's saying here is other people have come out in the past, and basically his staff and him had come out and attacked that person as not being attacked their character. That really didn't really affect what they said they were going to do. Attacked that they were lying. All this stuff. Basically, that's the MO of the administration, of Governor Cuomo's administration, to not accept responsibility and try to make amends, but to attack the person that makes these comments, which, again, classic sexual harassment. So these are like leading up to really making a good case for it. There's more in this article. I'm obviously not reading the whole thing to you, so I'll link to it and make sure you read through it. There's also some screenshots of emails and text and whatnot. So Stephanie Benton, the director of the governor's office, has told me in an email on December 14, 2016, that the governor suggested I look up images of Lisa Shields, his rumored former girlfriend, because we could be sisters. I was told and I was the better looking of the sisters. The governor began calling me Lisa in front of colleagues. It was degrading. I had complained to friends that the governor would go out of his way to touch me on my lower back, arms, and legs. His senior staff began keeping tabs on my whereabouts. He's a sexist pig, and you should avoid being alone with him, my mother texted me back in 2016. So basically, again, being compared to the known girlfriend of the person in power, in this case the governor, is not good. And then calling somebody by a different name when you know it makes them uncomfortable is not a good way to go about this, and really dives in deeper to what the sexual harassment is. And the fact that she has communication with somebody that she's telling about this happening in real time just shows that it has more relevance, that it's more likely to be true because she's talking about this as it happens. It's not going back in time, right? So let's continue to look through this article. Obviously, it's pretty long, so you don't need me to read the whole thing to you, but this was the next section I wanted to highlight in the article. The governor's pervasive harassment extended beyond just me. He made unflattering comments about the weight of female colleagues. He ridiculed them about their romantic relationships and significant others. He said the reasons that men get women were money and power. I tried to excuse his behavior. I told myself it's only words, but that changed after a one-on-one briefing with the governor to update him on economic and infrastructure projects. We were in his New York City office on 3rd Avenue. As I got up to leave and walked towards an open door, he stepped in front of me and kissed me on the lips. I was in shock, but I kept walking. And she goes on later to say how she was worried about people seeing her, as opposed to him violating her personal space and violating her sexually by kissing her against her will, basically. So she thought it was just words, but then he already previously been touching her inappropriately. This time he kissed her, which is not just sexual harassment. Now he's crossed over into sexual assault in this case. If these allegations are true, these are just allegations at this point. There needs to be an investigation, but this evidence is pretty overwhelming, I would say, and that's the last part I wanted to highlight. But let's listen. I also wanted to share what the governor has spoken about this. So let's give a chance to hear what the governor has to say about this.
Yeah, I heard about the tweet and what it said about comments that I had made. And it's not true, Zach. Look, I fought for, and I believe a woman has the right to come forward and express her opinion and express issues and concerns that she has, but it's just not true.
So as you can see, the governor totally denies it and says it never happened and wasn't true. Obviously, these are just allegations from the woman, and everybody has their day in court and has the ability to find out if it's true or not, and if these are true allegations, and if there's any facts to back these up. But the account by Lindsey Boland is pretty compelling and has details that you would make me think that it's likely true. And the fact that she has communication with people about it at the time it happened makes it even a stronger case, in my opinion. And that it's documented with text and emails and whatnot to these people. So obviously everybody deserves their chance to get through it and work through the issues together. But if this proves to be true, the governor needs to step down and he needs to be out of public office. He probably will get sued, and if that was sexual assault, deemed sexual assault, the kiss, or if there was anything more that wasn't mentioned in the article, then he needs to face criminal charges as well. This is totally unacceptable behavior by anybody in power, be it a manager at your job or somebody in high public office, especially a governor or anybody else. So it's not appropriate behavior. Has no place in our society anymore and needs to be dealt with as harshly as possible. So hopefully you gained a little bit more information about this, and I was able to provide a little bit more context and really kind of wrap this situation together. If you did, please like the video below, and in the comments, tell me, do you think the governor did it? And if so, do you think he will face any type of consequences from his actions? But until I see you around the internet, you guys have a great night. Bye.